Across the many different subgenres of gaming, none have a more prominent notoriety of challenge than the Souls-like. A game is called a Souls-like because of its core gameplay similarities, both in structure and in difficulty, to the term's namesake, Dark Souls. Other games that are considered Souls-likes include Bloodborne, Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, Elden Ring, and even the Star Wars Jedi series. Now, I have never played a Souls-like. It's not that I didn't like the game type, I just wanted to play other things. But come on, how much of a gamer are you really if you haven't even touched what's widely considered its most challenging genre? Now, the game I decided on as my first foray into the Souls-like may seem unconventional at first, but I promise you, not only is this game a great Souls-like, but a phenomenal game flat out. Hi, I'm Xander, and it's time I finally talked about... Another Crab's Treasure doesn't initially strike like it would be that hard of a game, and certainly not on the level of, say, a FromSoft title. Don't let the pretty colors fool you, though. This game can and will kick your ass. I should know, it certainly kicked mine.
Final tally, here we go. 348 deaths. Holy hell, dude.
Based on my limited understanding of other Souls-like games, the combat in Another Crab's Treasure is the most like Sekiro. You have one weapon that you can unlock upgrades for, magic spells, and a grappling hook you can use for both traversal and combat. The main mechanic that sets Another Crab's Treasure apart from its cousins are the various shells that you wear throughout the game. See, your original shell that you've had since your youth gets repoed by this lone shark, and you've got to chase him into the ocean to get it back, using an assortment of man-made garbage as substitutes in the meantime. Shells are like a full-body shield that protects you from damage, but if you're not careful, will eventually break on you. There's a bunch of different shells, and they all have unique abilities, classes, and styles, ranging from the sensible to the why the fuck.
No! You're so kidding. You're so kidding. There's no way that's a...
There's tons more nuance to the combat, like adaptations and other kind of magic, and a skill tree you can gain new abilities from something as fundamental as parrying to using your shell as the head of a hammer for a heavy weapon style, which is pretty damn cool. And you'll definitely need it against some of the harder enemies of the game, especially the bosses, who are all super unique. Some of them are made as homage to common boss tropes in Souls-like games, like the horse-mounted boss or the dreaded human-sized boss.
This is my first Souls-like game. I have not played a lot of Dark Souls. I haven't even played Elden Ring. But what I do know about Souls-like games is that the human-sized bosses suck the most. Oh god.
Overall, there's not a single boss that I thought was poorly designed or boring. Every boss in this game is either significant to the story or, at the very least, designed to educate you on a certain enemy type. That's as in-depth as I'm willing to go about the combat of Another Crab's Treasure, but man, if it's anything you play this game for, play it for the story. The story of Another Crab's Treasure is perfect. It raises your awareness to real-world issues, parallels our own personal evils, and all of the major characters feel important to you, if not to Krill, the crab who you play as. Krill himself is written extremely well. He's three-dimensional. He's a flawed character who learns and changes as the game progresses. He has an arc, and although I wouldn't say he completes said arc over the course of the game, he does begin to question his ideals as his worldview continues to be challenged by what's happening around him. I imagine this is a nice change of pace from the usual nameless player characters of its cousins, the Chosen Undead, the Cursebearer, the Tarnished. Sure, they're significant to the story in those cases, but oftentimes they're without personality, so us, the player, can self-insert. It's different from Krill, and I like that. Artistically, Another Crab's Treasure is a beautiful game. Sure, it's not the photorealistic visual orgasm AAA wants you to believe is necessary, but from start to finish, you can tell there was thought and care put into each section and area, from subtle adornments of buildings to the goofy-ass fake brand names and just blatant jokes thrown in. There's a QR code that links you to the most random YouTube video you could possibly think of. I'm not spoiling it though, you'll just have to see for yourself. Beyond that, I also want to quickly gush over the music that plays alongside, because oh my god, the music in this game is incredible. Damn near every track in this game is a banger, and really fits the aesthetic and narrative of Another Crab's Treasure. And majority of the tracks have these iconic motifs of lower-end hip-hop and rap productions because they're trash beats. It's a clever, intentional choice that I love about this game. Since I recorded my first playthrough of the game, there's been a significant update that adds a bunch more features, like New Game Plus, a bestiary, and even more goofy costumes for Krill. Now, overall, Another Crab's Treasure is a challenging action game with an immaculate story and great presentation. If I had to pick a negative for this game, I guess it would be the fact that the code is a little held together with duct tape at times. Don't get me wrong, I've never had it fully crash on me or anything like that, but there were certainly a handful of times the game itself would blatantly sabotage me.
Try something here. Swap to this shell. What the hell? Am I stuck? I'm stuck. Okay. What hit me? What hit me? What hit me?
Thankfully, any issues that got in the way of the fun were few and far between. Most of the glitches I witnessed were either really funny or just completely inexplicable. I suppose one other thing that might rub some of you Puritans the wrong way is that the folks over at Aggro Crab did what that goofball Miyazaki is way too scared to do, and that's give Krill a gun. Yes, you may have heard about the assist options Another Crab's Treasure offers. There's a variety of settings, like letting you dodge for longer or reducing enemy damage, and other reasons to get made fun of at school. But obviously the one that stands out is the option to give Krill a gun. No, not a gun proportional to Krill, a full-on human-sized 1911 that instantly one-shots any enemy, including bosses. You purists can whine all you want, this is one of the funnier cheats I've seen in a game. Another Crab's Treasure is available on pretty much every platform short of a phone. It retails for about $30 USD, and for the first time since I started making these review videos, Another Crab's Treasure goes beyond my usual indeterminate animal of approval rating and gets my first ever Xander certified must play. Another Crab's Treasure is just that good, and while it's not without its bugs and glitches, most of the time they don't negatively affect the experience. All in all, the challenge of its demanding gameplay and the reward and payoff of its story makes the experience worth it. Another Crab's Treasure is a must play. Thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. If you're interested, I've also uploaded highlight videos from my first playthrough of the game. Those will be linked in the description, as well as the end of this video. If you have an indie game you want me to check out, tell me about it in my Discord server. The link to that will be in the description as well. Tune in next time when I finally check out the sequel title of one of my favorite fighting games. Subscribe so you don't miss it. I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.